Dude, don't eat. I bought chicken nuggets from Burger King on DoorDash a few nights ago, like 2 nights ago, not last night, but the night before. And they only sell 16 pieces, and I bought 2 double cheeseburgers. So I ate the 2 double cheeseburgers, and I ate like 3 nuggets. And I was like, well, I don't want to eat all these nuggets, so I put them in my fridge. Last night I was hungry. I remember I had these nuggets in my fridge. So I ate like day old 13 nuggets from Burger King. Let me tell you, my body this morning told me never to eat a day old 13 Burger King nuggets.
Yeah.
With buffalo and ranch sauce.
You should have gotten the chicken fries. That's why.
Ah, dude, I love the chicken fries. But DoorDash was already mad expensive because I was lazy as shit and didn't want to drive. And it was like $8 for chicken fries compared to like $3.40 for the nuggets. Business decision.
Is it me or your mic sounds a little watery?
What's watery mean?
Like you're recording it in the water, under the water.
Right now?
Yeah. Just see if it's the right outlook or input. Might be me. Whoa, we got 3 people already in today's show. Look at that. Oh, you're muted.
Do I sound better?
Yes, you do. You sound much better. There you
go. I couldn't when I started. The part of the reason besides that, when I put my show in, my microphone was giving me recognition that it was plugged in. You know what I mean? Like lighting up.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't register on my computer.
Mm.
Weird, right?
Oh man, I miss Kevin at desk.
Yeah. All right, so let's get right into this. We got some things to talk about. The Thunder and the Bulls are heading into the next round of the play-in. We'll do those predictions, and we also have some draft news, Nick Nurse news, and more. So I don't know if you saw last night, Nick Nurse hopped on Stephen A's broadcast.
Did he really? You know, I actually watched a little of the Stephen A broadcast, and I've never done that before. And I was not like when Dame was on. I didn't even know he did that. I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not like a crazy Stephen A fan, so I wouldn't listen.
Nor am I.
But wow, I didn't know. Yeah, he's making his rounds, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he just basically gave. We'll talk about it more in depth in a little bit, but basically what he said was there's going to be a conversation this offseason where the basically the Trailblazers are. There was a great quote that I wanted to use. It was like the conversation is going to be: are we able to get it done, or are we going to go young? He kind of made it rhyme. And I think that's kind of what he said. He didn't say anything more. He's like, there's going to be a conversation where the Blazers and I look at each other and we're like, we going to get this done or we going to go young? Yeah, Dame said in reference, I'm going to talk to the Blazers and going to be like, we going to get this done or we going to go young? Which I think what he meant by we going to get this done, you know what I mean? Like, are we going to trade everything to actually put a championship team around me?
Yeah.
And yeah, so let's get right into it. It's going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder going up against Minnesota Timberwolves. And I think we need to give the Thunder a little bit of, a highlight. I want to talk about Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey, not that he had a slump, and I've been talking to Six Man this morning on Twitter, joking around about some Australian and British comedies. I don't know if you saw me. That's another thing. I was on the toilet and I was just laughing because we were talking about like Six Man was like shocked that I knew all these like British and like Australian comedies, and I was just listing them off and quoting them.
You ever watch the Big Les show?
The Big what?
The Big Les show?
No, Is it a big lesbian show?
No, it's a YouTube Australian series. It's a good one.
Is it funny?
Yeah.
I'll check it out. How do you say it? Big
Les, Lez.
The Big Les show. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I've seen like references to it. I'll check.
That's a good one.
I did not know it's Comedy Central Australia.
Oh, is it really? I didn't either. Wow.
Yeah, it's in collaboration with Comedy Central Australia. That's cool.
Oh, cool.
I Thomas, someone say lesbians. That's what I thought he said. All right, this game last night was fantastic, and we'll get into the preview for the Thunder and everything right in a sec. But I was watching this game, and I thought when Brandon Ingram hit that three, it was over. I mean, Herb Jones, you've done so good your first 2 seasons. You threw away the game. I don't know if you saw that play.
Wow.
Yeah, Herb Jones, inbound pass. I think they have a chance they're down 3 basically. They're down 3. Herb Jones has the ball to inbound. He overthrows CJ McCollum because he couldn't throw it deep and it goes out bounds, game over. But Josh Giddey, Josh, he was attacking, confidence, looking like the guy we know. Lou Dort, defense, 27 points, but Josh Giddey, triple-double, baby, almost. 1 rebound shy. Shea doing his thing. What's crazy is this team really ran like a 5-man rotation with a little bit of Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, and Dario Saric. And decided with Dario Saric. I saw Dario Saric boxing out Jonas Valanciunas last night.
Yeah, man, that's Jonas's fatal flaw, I guess. Saric is good, though. Sarge, good player. I think we figured out Shea's a superstar last night. I think we also figured out Josh Giddey will at least be a star.
It's official. The Oklahoma City Thunder have ended their rebuild.
Yeah, I mean, when a team makes a plan, I think their rebuild is over.
So the Wizards' rebuild was over when they made the plan a few years ago?
The Wizards have never really rebuilt. So I think it's a little bit different, but yeah, man, and they don't even have Chet playing. I don't think Lou Dort. I think Lou Dort's expendable. I
love Lou Dort, though,
but he's not like the best offensive player. But it's okay because he's got some great defense, and they'll make it. They'll be fine with him right now. Yeah, man, Shea's a superstar. Giddey's a star, or at least next year they will be. I think the Thunder had like a 0.8% chance to make the playoffs at the start of the season or some.
Yeah, it's pretty
like that. I know they haven't technically made it yet, but they're playing pretty much. They don't count it as the playoffs, but like it's like playoffs with an asterisk. Like it's good enough for a team like the Thunder.
Now, let's pivot over here. They're going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, as you guys know. I'm a fan of this squad. What is your thoughts so far? Can they win this, or is this going to be the T-Wolves? If anything, I was more confident that the Thunder was going to win this because you know what? The one strength the Timberwolves have over the Thunder that I could think of, and I'm a T-Wolves fan, is they're bigger.
Yeah.
The Thunder are better at everything. Thunder even have a deeper roster. Yeah. We don't even know if Rudy Gobert is going to play.
He's got to play.
He has to.
Yeah. I think, I love the Thunder, but I think, Pelicans are pretty small too. I don't think
Valanciunas. And Jackson Hayes and Willie Hernan-Gomez.
But the team on the screen has Cat and Goofy Gobert. Those are better than those guys times 3 times together as well. I think, for example, they almost beat the Lakers, right? Well, the Lakers didn't play a great basketball game, but the Timberwolves turned it over 20-plus times, and they were without Gobert, and Anthony Edwards sucked. He sucked.
Anthony Edwards was horrible.
Anthony Edwards is not going to suck on Friday night. I don't think it happens. So, Minnesota's these guys are close, but I think Minnesota's I think they have the edge, and you do have to factor in OKC's riding high. They had a great season, whereas Minnesota expectations were probably a little bit too high for them in year one of the Gobert trade, and all the locker room stuff going on. Kyle Anderson, the team killer, is not helping their case. But I don't know, man. They just have those savvy vets. Mike Conley is going to have a good game, and
The way I see it now is Lou Dort's going to shut down. Lou Dort, Shea, and J Dub are going to shut down Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, and either Taurean Prince or Kyle Anderson. And then, I think Rudy Gobert and Karl-Anthony Towns are going to be problems, but then I think the Thunder are going to play them off the floor. Why? Because Rudy Gobert's been exposed every time when a team goes space ball. Guess how this team is going to go space ball? J-Dub can play center. J-Will can play center. Or they can even run Dario Saric center and have 5 out. Like, I think they're going to just play Rudy Gobert off the floor how every other team has in the playoffs. And then they'll be able to contain I think they'll be able to contain Anthony Edwards and Mike Conley or even Karl-Anthony Towns and just basically tell one guy to beat them. But the other thing is I think that the T-Wolves are a first half team while I think the Thunder are a second half team.
Yeah.
Like every game I've seen, like not every game. The last couple games
love to blow it. Yeah.
Timberwolves start out hot, we do good, okay? And then we fall apart in crunch time. The Thunder, they kind of sometimes sputter or sometimes just come out, they keep the game close and then out the second half they start guns blazing. Yeah. So I think this team
I think Minnesota's pretty. I think they're a little sneaky deep. I mean, if Helena does the same thing he did against the Lakers, Taurean Prince is solid. I don't know, man. I think Cat still giving me 25 and 10, and I don't think Edwards drops below 30.
My problem is this is me being a Timberwolves fan. I'm just jaded by the Timberwolves. I can't trust them. That was my big thing.
Yeah.
When I made my predictions video, I said the Timberwolves should win this. They're huge in comparison. Like they should be able to physically impose their will and basically just score at a highly efficient rate inside and win the rebounding battle. Which, if they do that, I think they'll easily win this game. If they just have Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert both have double-doubles and just tell everyone, just attack inside. But the Thunder have that, guard early, late, switch late defensive scheme. Again, like on paper, this should be a win for the Timberwolves. Yes, I agree with that. But like my heart's telling me it's the Thunder because I can't. Like the Timberwolves, as a Timberwolves fan, I've lost my faith on the season, especially with what happened in the last game or the game before the last game.
Yeah, I get it. I get it for sure. Shea can drop 44 tomorrow as well. And
so can Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey will have a triple-double.
30-point triple-dub.
Lou Dort, 27.
Catches fire.
Yeah.
Lou Dort gives you 20. I agree with you. I'm still going with the Wolves, but certainly.
No, I completely going where, like, if we didn't have the season we had and, like, we made the play-in by surprise with this roster or something, I would be taking the Timberwolves because that's, like, what I think, but I just can't as a Timberwolves fan because of how I felt jaded about this season. We don't even know if Rudy Gobert is playing. They haven't mentioned it.
It might be better without Gobert, but the Wolves are on they've been on a downfall or things aren't looking bright for them right now. Whereas the Thunder, it's like,
I don't even know
15 picks in the next couple of years. Chet hasn't even played the second pick in the draft, and you just made the playoffs or you just made the play-in and you won the first game of the play-in. Like things are riding high. OKC momentum is everything.
Active? Is Chet?
Yeah, dude, Chet got a little big.
No, but he's
not crazy big.
Dre, I agree. Oh,
is he active to play?
Yeah, because I looked.
No.
The reason I said on ESPN and on Google when I searched it, they had him listed on the did not play.
Oh, he caught a DMP last night.
Yeah, so I didn't know if that was just by mistake, or they are having him on an active roster or just getting dressed. They might be.
That's probably it. Yeah,
they just have him getting dressed.
Yeah.
Oh, but
I don't. That's interesting.
I just noticed that it was a small thing. It could have been like an error. Also,
they do. ESPN loves their errors, don't they?
They do make a lot of errors on that. But I just want to talk about this. What do you do with the Rudy Gobert situation? On an actual real note.
Trade Kyle Anderson.
So the reason I say this is I think it was Chris Haynes or The Athletic. They brought up a good point that supposedly it blew up in the locker room like after that. Like the reason Rudy Gobert got sent home.
Idiot in the organization leaked it.
Yeah, somewhere they don't know who, but
someone's creating a narrative.
But basically, supposedly Kyle Anderson was like berating, saying that basically trying to fight Rudy Gobert in the locker room.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, it got so bad that Tim Conley was called from the locker room to come down from the president's suite, and he had to run downstairs. And he basically walks into the room and he yells at Rudy Gobert and tells Rudy Gobert to go home.
I think it's so. This guy and the COVID thing probably made all of this even more prevalent. I think it's so.
Draymond Green says that he personally he gained respect from Rudy Gobert out of this situation. But he also said that supposedly Rudy Gobert around the league is, this is not me saying this, but known as a bitch.
I haven't heard that at all.
Well, the narrative that's come out this season is that everyone thinks Rudy Gobert is ice cream soft serve.
It's so annoying because it's like everyone is taking their problems of Rudy Gobert being traded for 5 picks and a variety pack on Rudy Gobert as if Rudy Gobert is the one making these trades. Blame your idiot GM who thought that was the move you need to make.
So that's the next question.
We know what Rudy Gobert is. Rudy Gobert has never been here's Shaquille O'Neal. Rudy Gobert is not Shaquille O'Neal. But people come in with these expectations because of what he got traded for, thinking, I need him to be Shaquille O'Neal. He's a great defensive player. He's never been an offensive-minded guy. He'll maybe give you 10 some nights, but Rudy Gobert is going to give you 8 points. He's going to give you probably 13 rebounds. 3 of those are going to be offense. He's going to give you a block and a half, maybe a steal. And Kyle Anderson, to me, is the idiot. It didn't even look like a punch to me. It looked like a shove, like, hey, get going. Like, let's get going here. Kyle Anderson, if you're in Coach Popovich's doghouse, you're on a red flag. You're circled in red pen. Why isn't he on the Memphis Grizzlies? Memphis Grizzlies, a young team that could use a veteran like Kyle Anderson, like they did last year. Why isn't he back?
But no,
why isn't he back?
The thing is I sit here because Tim Conley has ownership equity. That's how he became the president of basketball operation. They gave him, ownership equity. Tim Conley's tied to Rudy Gobert. If you're the Timberwolves, I've joked around about this, but at this point, I would call up the Miami Heat and be like, Kyle Lowry and Duncan Robinson straight up for Rudy Gobert.
Hell freaking no. I'd do that for Kyle Anderson. I don't get why. Okay.
Just get rid of his contract.
If we talked about this after it happened, where it's like, if I'm being called a bitch. Dre, before you continue, I respect Rudy, but you have to understand, beginning of the season, Jackson can attest to this. I had so much hope and faith that we were going to build off of last season. I had hope for the first time since Ricky Rubio came over for the Timberwolves to be a top 14 in the East. Yeah, but we all knew it was a 2-year process. But I understand it for sure.
What was
Shea
your final?
Way better than
I was about to say, he said Shea or Ja Morant. I say Shea because he's the more complete guy. I'm a big proponent. When I
win a championship with him.
I wouldn't. That's kind of being disrespectful to Ja. I think you can win with Ja. I think Ja needs to do a few things to get there. But with Shea, I'm a big proponent on two-way players. That's why, right now, if I had to choose MVP, it's between Giannis and Jokic. I think Giannis might have it in my heart because Giannis, best record in the NBA, complete player.
Did you just leave Joel Embiid off?
Oh, fuck Joel. Fuck Joel. Yeah.
Nikola Jokic isn't even close to the MVP. It's so obviously Joel Embiid, or it probably should be.
Wait. You want to hear a crazy stat?
Yeah.
And guess who played more games in their first 4 years? Zion Williamson or Joel Embiid?
No. Is it going to be Zion?
Yep.
That's fucking crazy. That's good news, Pelly fans. Good news, Seagull fans.
Zion Williamson in his first 4 seasons has played 114 NBA games. Guess how many games Joel Embiid played in his first 4 seasons?
I'm going to go with 97.
94.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a good guess. No one talks about that. Shout out Mark Stein for he put that in his newsletter yesterday that he sent out at like 10 p.m. And he always puts at the end of his newsletter numbers game where he's like, these are some numbers I found fascinating. Yeah. And at the bottom was Zion Williamson has played 20 more games than Joel Embiid did. And yeah, so no one talks about that. Obviously, we're not going to sit here and say Joel Embiid's been the poster child of health. All right. But what's my point is people act like Zion Williamson is more fragile than your mother's china, but people don't act like Joel Embiid Joel Embiid was equally fragile, and look what he's been 4 or 5 years in a row now. Yeah, he only plays between like 55 and like 68 games, but that's 2/3 of the season he plays. And he plays the postseason.
If he's gonna be MVP, I'll take it over. Yeah. It works for me. Yeah, that's a great statistic right there.
Grom, I love you hanging out with us. Also, if you want to break down how to say your name correctly, let me know. I got a foreign name, so I'd love to hear it. And he was the poster child of patient and proper game plan. And I think we need to give Zion the same benefit. I mean, I think it was year 4 or year 5 or whatever it was when he fully started to play like 50 plus games. So hopefully that's what happens with Zion. Now let's move over.
Quick round of appreciation to Kenny. If Jokic wins MVP, I will be so. I don't like the voting.
Kenny Beachum?
I think they're gonna get it right. Yeah, that's Kenny. Thanks, Kenny Beachum.
No, Kenny right here. Yeah, okay. So the way I had an argument with Luke about this is the way that I decide MVP is if you put Jokic on the Sixers or the Bucks.
I hate this so much.
What am I going to say? If you put Jokic on the Sixers,
are they going to be as good?
They're going to be better. If you put Jokic on the Bucks, they're probably going to be the same. If you put Giannis on the Nuggets, they're the same. If you put Joel Embiid on the Nuggets, they're worse.
No.
I believe MVP not only should be about the two-way player, which is why I have Giannis winning it. I think it should be about the guy who brings up the players on his roster. How much does he raise the floor of the talent around him? That's why my MVP vote goes Giannis, Jokic, Embiid, and I go to the University of Kansas.
You put Joel Embiid at 3.
Yes, because I think if you put Jokic on the Sixers would have finished with a better record. If you put Joel Embiid on the Nuggets wouldn't have finished first in the West.
Once again, no.
I agree with that, Kenny.
Watch the 5 minutes of any. Go watch every. I will compile a 2-hour video of the last 4 minutes of every.
Jokic will make Tobias Harris look like an all NBA
If Jokic,
player.
You're going to see in the second round of the playoffs how Chris Paul. I don't want to say anally abuses him, but it's going to be similar. It's going to be similar. And then we're going to be here and we're going to have a conversation saying, okay, yes, let's fire Mike Malone, even though it's not entirely his fault. Okay. And can Jokic be a winner?
What up, Aaron? What up, Rockin' News? Kenny, I love the argument.
There would be no defense at all if Jokic was on the Sixers.
Okay, tell me right now. Do you believe that if Joel Embiid's on the Nuggets instead of the Jokic, are they better or are they same record?
They will be better. They would be exponentially better, actually.
Okay, but
it'd be a 60-win team.
Okay, let's move on from the Jokic and Embiid right here. Can we agree if you put Giannis on any of the 3 teams, I think Giannis would make that team entirely better. Giannis on the Nuggets, Giannis on the Sixers instead of Embiid or Jokic.
I think it would be similar. I think they would have different.
The teams will be completely different.
I think they would excel in different ways and have different struggles, but I think they would be similarly skilled. I mean, Joel defensively, man, you just can't mess with him. I like that you put Giannis at 1 because I don't think that's far-fetched. I think Giannis is more of an MVP than Jokic this year, but I have to go with Joel Embiid, Giannis, Jokic. I mean, what was Giannis' statistic? He's the first player in NBA history to go like 30.
I just think people are giving so much like disrespect to Jokic over recency bias when Jokic for 2/3 of the season was having the greatest offensive season of all time, and all he's done is he slipped to one of the greatest offensive seasons of all time.
Yeah, but like it's the most valuable player on the best team. I don't think he offers me anything on defense at all. So
I think
true.
Well, first off, MPJ.
He got the Nuggets. He got the Nuggets to the 6th seed in the West on his own. Oh, he got the team.
I just want to say the last time the Nuggets had a healthy roster, they made it to the Western Conference Finals.
And that Nuggets team looked quite different. I will say that. Oh, you love that, don't you? Yeah, you love that.
I have a signed MarJon Beauchamp picture because I'm a reporter and I went and covered a story at a middle school. Turns out the vice principal I was interviewing was MarJon Beauchamp's legal guardian who adopted him when he was 15 years old. And she was the person who was there at draft night, and she has like a bunch of his pictures signed and like had a shrine. And I mentioned that I was a big fan of his, and she was like, I usually give this to kids who do a really good job as like a reward. And she gave me it, and then I framed it, and because I'm a big MarJon Beauchamp fan, so I keep it's a signed MarJon Beauchamp picture. Money. I keep it right there because I really like it. Yeah, it's a crazy story. So I actually have her number. So yeah, I know MarJon Beauchamp's like it's his aunt, but MarJon Beauchamp had a really rough upbringing. She told me she adopted him when he was like 15, 16. Her husband's a basketball coach. He played with her sons. So like, that's how I have a signed MarJon Beauchamp picture. But let's get right into the Bulls Heat. DeMar DeRozan's daughter is kryptonite. Can we agree?
I love when they first figured that out. Like, who's the fucking scream? Oh, it's DeMar's daughter.
I was gonna make a terrible, terrible joke that like would not have flown. About it's not gonna happen. You just can't. You can't make. Okay, now. So right here we got ourselves the Miami Heat versus the Chicago Bulls, and you know what? I personally, I believe that off of first glance, the Bulls should win this.
Ooh.
And that is because no rebounding, no defense. You want to know who said that? Pat Riley.
Yeah, he did say that.
This Heat team is... everybody's agreeing. DeMar DeRozan's daughter was the MVP. Supposedly she is not traveling to Miami, DeMar said after the game.
She's got school. Come on.
I know. But
come on, DeMar.
DeMar.
What are we doing here?
Just send her a note. Write a note.
Just say she has COVID.
Yes. But over here, I think, dude, I just think here, Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo are the four best players on.
Lowry had what, 32?
He had 33 last night. He had 33. He had 33 the other night. So Kyle Lowry was the leading scorer for the Miami Heat in their loss. If you didn't know that, but
Bam Adebayo.
I know. So when I look at this situation, Vooch is going to be going against Adebayo. Jimmy Butler probably against DeMar. Levine versus Kyle Lowry. Tyler Hero versus like Pat Bev, Caruso. I don't know. I just have the Heat. Not the Heat. I have the Heat losing. I have the Bulls winning this because I think the Bulls as a unit rebound. Ever since Pat Bev's there, it seems like it's like you get a rebound. Everybody's rebounding on this team. And it's not just like defense. I think the Bulls have been trending in the right direction, and the Heat have been trending in the wrong direction. So for me, the Heat have no rebounding. They don't have consistent. Caleb Martin played 29 minutes without scoring a single basket.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. Like, they don't have any help outside the 4 guys I mentioned: Adebayo, Hero, Lowry, Butler. Everyone else, Strus barely made an impact. Oladipo barely made an impact. Vincent barely made an impact. I can't trust the bench. I can't trust the roster of the Heat, at least the Bulls. Over the last thing, they play only 5 or 6 guys with the starting lineup of Pat Bev, Levine, Caruso, Vooch, and DeMar, right? That's like the starting lineup. Then you have Pat Will off the bench, and
which is interesting.
Yeah, and that's all they play really, and then they mix in a little bit of Kobe White and Derek Jones Jr. and a little Andre Drummond. Yeah, and that's all. Okay, but they basically play the first 5 guys I said, with the 6th man being Pat White and a little bit of Kobe White. That's 7 guys they usually just play, and I trust those 7 guys over the past 3 weeks way over what the Miami Heat, because they couldn't even play Kevin Love or Cody Zeller last game. They both played like 5 minutes. I just can't.
We do need DeMar's daughter in Miami, but if as Aaron's saying, if Miami plays anything similar to what they just played, they're freaking toast. And Zach Levine, the GOAT, future Hall of Famer. No, I'm just kidding, but hopefully, putting us on the back. I think he kind of was like, "Fuck, Billy Donovan, you're not doing what I need to do right now, so I'm gonna just do it," and everybody wins here. The Heat certainly need a retool. I mean, the Kyle Lowry turn back the clock was cool, but like, they might have to give up Bam. I don't know. Definitely Tyler Hero is up for grabs here, but like, if you can neutralize Jimmy Butler and have guys like Kyle Lowry have to drop 30, I don't think Bam or Jimmy will play as bad. But the Bulls defense, I mean, we finished 5th in the league in general, and since the All-Star break, we've been one of the best defenses. Our rotations are on point right now. Billy's got us right defensively. These guys are being held accountable. The energy is up. And I agree with you, man. I think, like, we didn't play good last night. We did not play good brand of basketball in the first half, especially third quarter. We figured out a little bit more. I think Vooch is going to get more involved. I think we'll run the offense more through him as well. But in that fourth quarter, I'm going DeMar. I'm going Levine. I mean, Levine dropped 30 points in the second half. I called it. I said Levine will drop at least 36. I don't know exactly what he dropped, but was it 36?
No, I mean, Levine's an absolute animal. I look at this and I just think Levine had 39. I think it was 39 in 40 minutes. He had 39. He basically exactly Levine. And the other thing is that the Bulls have been playing defense. Pat Bev's out there, just got everyone playing defense. And then you got Vooch, who, even if his shot isn't falling, that's the other thing. They have 6 guys who can facilitate. Levine, Pat Bev, Caruso, Vooch, all right, Kobe White.
Yeah,
Pat Bev
playing that point guard role in
like
Minnesota.
Everyone on this team can put the ball on the deck. That's the other thing about the Bulls. Like, half the roster on the Heat are catch and shoot guys for guys who can't dribble. The Bulls, 5, 6 guys in their rotation can all be either primary facilitators or secondary facilitators, with Vooch, Caruso, and Kobe White all coming in as secondary facilitators. Then you have Levine, DeRozan, and Pat Bev acting as your primary facilitators. It's like everybody has like at least 3 assists, okay? And like it's constantly. I think right here, this is an easy Bulls. I think we're going to see a radically different Miami Heat team next year, because the Heat, it's not working anymore. Yeah. And personally, I look at Asian roster. All right, our man Aaron said it better. Heat roster is thinning like a middle-aged office worker. Having Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry on the books has screwed them over. Those are 2 contracts that they got to get off the books. I think Goon has said it right here. Bulls defense got to pick up, and I think their defense is going to shut down. They're going to force Miami Heat to shoot from the perimeter, something that they've struggled this season.
We got to make our threes too. We didn't. I think.
But the thing is the Bulls don't need to make threes, because they have so many guys who are good at getting to the free throw line that they just live at the free throw line.
It's just when are you gonna start pushing that pace? Sometimes it's just too little, too late. Thankfully, last night Levine and DeMar were like, "Fuck that." But as Goon said it best, 3-0 against Miami on the year. Chicago plays really good against good teams, and I'm not saying the Heat are a great team, but like, we play up to our competition. So I feel like momentum's been on our side. We slipped like a little bit at the end of the season, but the fact that we got into the play-in after the way things looked 2 months ago is pretty cool. Bulls had the 5th best defense in the NBA. So, yeah.
That's interesting.
Zach LaVine has done a phenomenal job in the second half of the year guarding. He's done such a good job. So
he has, and I think that's something that people aren't talking about at all, and he deserves that. But I do want to talk about this little video from Stephen A. and our man Damian Lillard. So let me cue that up real quick for us right here. Booyah, video file, downloads.
I wish he was on tonight, man. I don't.
What?
I get they need breaks, but like my selfishness. I don't know.
I wish they were playing.
I'd rather watch it tonight than tomorrow because I listened to it on the radio on my way home last night. I miss listening to shit on the radio. Like in Chicago, Florida radio is so bad. I had to play it off my phone.
The Portland Trailblazers are on the clock. They got to show a level of urgency or else.
I mean, I'm not even going, it ain't a threat. I'm not, I ain't going to say I'm putting them on the clock. I'm just saying, if those things can't be done, we can't do something significant like that, then, we won't have a chance to compete on that level. And then not only will I have a decision to make, but I think the organization will too, because at that point it's like, are you going to go young or are we going to get something done? I think we just kind of been on the fence with, fully committing to either one. And
what do you think that from that quote from Stephen A.'s interview with Damian Lillard?
I mean, I still think Dame will get traded sooner rather than later. I don't know what
deals you can do to bring talent to. Are you telling me you're going to go out there? The 3 centers you can bring in, DeAndre Ayton, Miles Turner, and John Collins are the 3 bigs that we know might be available. Do you really think those guys, you want to keep Jeremy Grant? You think a roster of like DeAndre Ayton, Jeremy Grant, Damian Lillard, you got to make more radical moves, and there's not enough. You're going to go out inside Chris Middleton somehow? Like, I don't see there feasibly being a way for the Trailblazers to be able to acquire the talent to make this team a championship contending roster in one offseason. And I think it's in their best interest to rebuild through Shaedon Sharpe, maybe keep Anthony Simons. So it's a Shaedon Sharpe, Anthony Simons backcourt. You draft like Jarace Walker and you trade Damian Lillard for as many assets as you can. And I know they have the 5th best lottery odds, which is 5th or 6th. It's 5th.
Yeah, they beat out Charlotte.
Yeah, something like that.
It's either, I think it's 5, but I don't know why that doesn't make sense in my head right now. But yeah, I don't know who they could acquire unless they slipped into 1 or 2 that would help Dame next year. And even at that point, if you slip into 1 or 2, I think that Dame, they'd be like, shit, we have Shaedon Sharpe.
The only way
let's maybe move on.
It's like if they got Victor Wembanyama and they trade for like a sign and trade for Chris Middleton. That's the only way that would be mind blowing.
They'd have to get like 1. Yeah. I mean, I don't know who. It makes more sense to put Dame on a team like Miami.
Goon. I feel like anybody. I think everybody's like our point guard. We could get rid of our point guard for Damian Lillard? I think everybody in the NBA is like we could get rid of somebody for Dame.
Yeah.
So
I mean, a LaVine Dame backcourt.
I mean, no defense there.
There's probably a better duo out there, but shit, I'll take Dame. I love DeMar, but fuck.
We got some other news.
So I remember one of us on the show saying that one of these coaches wasn't going to get fired.
I know that was you, but supposedly the rumor is Nick Nurse might not. So we know the Rockets and the Pistons are like so the Raptors are supposedly allegedly, Masai Ujiri is like looking at Ime Udoka like, I need you. You're perfect. You'll complete this team. Well, I've been saying this whole time, I think Masai Ujiri has screwed Nick Nurse over and not constructed a roster to win with. But Nick Nurse is obviously taking time with the season being over to look over stuff. But there's reports now coming out that Nick Nurse might not be fired at all, and that there is actually a path for him to return as coach. The future of Nick Nurse is still uncertain. While Nick Nurse could certainly exit as coach and end up with another team, there's a scenario where he remains with the Raptors. Quote, I know this, both Nick Nurse and Masai Ujiri have been communicating lately. There's still very much a pathway forward for Nick Nurse with the Raptors beyond this postseason. Nurse and Ujiri will meet in the near future. Adrian Wojnarowski still believes that both sides think there's a way forward. If there isn't, especially the Rockets, they're monitoring what's going on with Nick Nurse. I think he's very high on their list if he becomes available. Basically saying that if Nick Nurse were to move on from the Raptors, he's not going to be on the market for very long.
Yeah, for sure.
If you guys have been watching, we've had like 12 people. We've averaged like 12 people this stream. Hit that like and subscribe button. It'll be muchly appreciated. We're live Monday through
Let's
Friday.
Hit 10 likes today.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
9 to 10. We're on the way to 10 likes. Hit that button.
Let's just hit 10 likes, man.
What do you think? At the end of the day, Raptors keep Nick Nurse or do they move on from Nick Nurse?
You know damn well what I think. They're keeping Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse isn't going anywhere. A Rockets fan can dream. I'll dream all night long, but I'll take Kenny At. I think the Raptors are going to have to make some moves here. It's not looking like Freddie or Gary will be back. I think they're going to have to trade OG eventually. I hate to say it because I love OG, and maybe a team can unlock him offensively like we saw in the beginning of the season when Siakam was out. But you'll see it, man. OG, there's so many possessions because you got Fred and Siakam out there, and you got Scotty, Gary, whatever it is. OG's just in that corner, just waiting for that basketball. And it was nice to see when Siakam was injured to start the year, like what OG can do and how he's developed his ball handling and creating for himself. But I mean, he's one of the best two-way players in the league. So you either have to fully commit to a rebuild, which I don't think they should do because Siakam's a good player. Scotty's a promising player. But I think they're going to have to dangle OG and whatever else they can get up to acquire a guy like Chris Middleton. In free agency, I don't know what it is, man. I like a Damian Lillard's freaking money for this team. Figure out a way to get Damian Lillard. Can OG and Anunoby and some sign and trades possibly work without giving up Siakam and Scotty? All I know is like I love Scotty Barnes, but I think they need to fill out their roster with which they've done with guys like Otto Porter Jr. and Otto got injured right away for him, which sucked. But like I think they need to take the Warriors stance of like, all right, even if you keep OG, whatever it is, we just need more like quality veterans that can shoot.
No, I agree. Damian Lillard.
Please get a shooter. John Collins, man, that doesn't really do much for me.
I do agree. I've said, they need more shooting. Their bench has been bigs for the past few seasons.
Their bench has been dog shit for 3 straight years with the Tampa Bay Raptors, but I don't really count that.
No, I agree, and it's
assemble a fucking bench, man.
That's why I say the problem is more Masai Ujiri than Nick Nurse.
Have they not had a backup point guard for 2 straight years? I love the addition of Otto Porter Jr. If Otto Porter Jr. didn't get hurt, it would have worked so nicely. But get a fucking point guard. Jeff Doughton's he's an enticing guy. But Donovan's enticing. Malachi Flynn's kind of enticing, but like get a fucking backup point guard.
I mean, if they had played Malachi Flynn, he would have probably developed.
Yeah. I mean,
here's some guys that they could look at in the upcoming draft.
So what does this do for me?
So these are our 5 best shooting guards and combo guards in the upcoming NBA draft. And right here, let me kind of like this one better. So right here, I have Nick Smith, who people have compared to a Jamal Murray, Jamal Crawford hybrid type player. Asar Thompson, he's kind of a wing combo guard. He's Eamon Thompson's twin brother. He's the one who's a little bit better shooting and more of the wing player, more of a secondary ball handler. Keontae George has been considered the modern day Eric Gordon. Jordan Hawkins, arguably one of, if not the best 3-point shooter in the draft class, who's climbed his name into the lottery conversation. Taquavian Smith, a guy who was a mid to late first round pick last year, who went back, shoots like almost 9 3-pointers a game at like 40%. He's going to be a late first rounder. Kind of seem in the similar vein as like a Tyrese Maxey, Emmanuel Quickly type guy. And then Marcus Sasser is one of, if not the best guard defender, up there with Kassan Wallace, but at the shooting guard. So what are your thoughts of these guys? And is there any name that you would like your team to pick up if you wanted? Because the Rockets only have one pick in this draft, right? They don't have like 2 or 3 again.
Well, that's actually really good.
I think the Rockets only have one pick this year. Usually, the past few seasons, they've had multiple first-round picks. I mean, they could always they'll make probably a trade, but what's a guy right here that you would like to see on one of your teams?
Oh, I'd take all of them. I think the sleeper here is Terquavian Smith. Reminds me of DSJ just because of the NC State.
Yeah,
but Nick Smith Jr. is a really enticing athlete. Either Thompson, bro, or Twin is interesting to me. All 6 of these I would take on my respected basketball team. Nick Smith Jr. though, I think he's got something.
His knee scares me because I know he has like a bit of has had some reoccurring knee injuries, but Nick Smith is in range for wherever the Raptors will be. And I keep looking at this. I'm like, Nick Smith or Keontae George look like great guys for like a Raptors team because they could, play like replace Gary Trent Jr. and also be like secondary ball handlers. But Rocket News has got his pick is Asar Thompson. I think for my team, I think it depends on the team. Like if the Wizards, the guys I want the Wizards draft, if they, end up closer to 14, I think a guy like Nick Smith, Keontae George, those are the 2 guys that I want in the draft. But if I'm a team that needs 3-point shooting, I'm going Jordan Hawkins. If I'm a team that needs defense only, I'm taking Asar Thompson to be like a Dyson Daniels guy for me. And then if I'm in the late first, if I need a backup point guard who can, be kind of like a Bones Highland, Emmanuel Quickly type guy for me, Taquavian Smith. And if I just need a defensive dog, kind of like, a guy who can be NBA ready along the lines as Andrew Nembhard, I think it's Marcus Sasser.
Yeah, Sasser's cool.
Yeah. Anybody else you want to say about this?
No, I mean, the Rockets won't have any of these guys because if we fell this deep, we'd probably trade it. Rockets just might trade their pick in general, but it should be a good draft, man. I think as the teams get knocked out, and we're already starting to see it, people starting to care a little bit more about the draft. But I think once these teams start getting knocked out, we'll see it. Let me do a quick Google search on NBA draft day, June 22nd, so 2 months away, man.
Yeah. What if the Sixers, if the Rockets get the 3rd pick, they draft Brandon Miller, and then the Sixers are like, look, James Harden doesn't want to stay because we lost in the 1st or 2nd round of the playoffs. We'll sign and trade James Harden for Brandon Miller.
I think I'm all set.
No, but like the Rockets send Brandon Miller and like 3 first-round picks.
I'm like even more set then. What do you mean? What the fuck?
Who is set?
I'm all set on that trade. I don't. What the hell is that? 3 first Brandon Miller for James Hamstring Harden. Oh.
Rockets love him.
I'll take him in free agency when he comes.
Well, he would be coming in free agency via sign and trade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for 3 firsts and Brandon Miller, so 4 firsts for James Harden at 34.
At 34
with that hamstring. Yeah, I think I'm all set.
All righty, guys, let's play a quick game we like to play.
What am I supposed to do tonight? There's no basketball on.
I'm going to make off-season prediction videos, which we can do in a second after we play this game.
Oh, the Rockets have the Clips. You got the Clips pick. Wasn't that I thought that was.
What?
No, yeah, we have the Clips pick.
You guys said there is 2 first-round picks?
Yeah, that is Patrick Williams.
That's a really good guess. It probably is.
Kapow!
Does Patrick Williams have like alopecia?
Probably. If alopecia is the
The balding
thing that
disease.
makes a color of your hair different.
Like Charlie Villanueva had alopecia.
Did he really?
Yeah, that's why he was fucking
I've
bald.
heard that name like ever.
Charlie
Okay, well, then I
Villanueva?
don't know what alopecia is. If that makes it bald.
There's multiple alopecias. Luke has alopecia because he's balding.
Oh,
That's considered alopecia. But then there's different types of alopecia. There's alopecia where like you have no hair, like no eyebrows, no beard, no arm hair.
Patrick Williams has hair. Those were just dreads.
Yes, but if you're balding, like
Braids?
Kevin Durant has alopecia.
Oh no shit.
Because
People just bald though. People just
Yes.
bald. So does like half the world
The
have
scientific
alopecia?
name for balding is alopecia.
Oh, that would have cleared that up.
But there's
so
different
much.
types of alopecia. There's like alopecia XYZ is the most common, which is when you see people with receding hairlines. But then there's alopecia ZYX, that is the one that people are born with no hair. They'll never grow hair. They'll never have pubic hair. They'll never have armpit hair. They'll never have beard hair. They'll never have arm hair. They'll never have eyebrows or head. They're just bald. They're just hair. They look like naked mole rats, but humans.
Are we the best hair NBA show?
We are
the best
hair.
daily live NBA hair show.
Wait. Should we react to the Kyle Kuzma thread?
Oh, I could get a little. I'm good with whatever, man.
Kyle Kuzma made me laugh yesterday.
The Dinwiddie beef.
All right.
Kuz has the Lakers to the finals, if I'm not mistaken.
I do think so. You said okay. So
Dude, I hate this so much.
What,
Yeah.
Kuz?
Let's get into it. I have a question for you.
All right, so since I'm so famous, FanDuel TV and Spencer Dinwiddie, let me give you all some clout. I'm usually unbothered, but things on the internet.
Is he?
But I will not allow this delusional guy to continue to talk about my teammates and I. Here's a thread, crying face. Insecurity is loud, question mark. The Wizards and I have so much real estate on Din Shitty Island.
Mhm.
This guy got signed by a team 60 mils and was traded before the following season was over.
It's true.
What in the world have you won in this league? Lol, you've been bounced around like a basketball, my boy. 3. You can thank KD and Kyrie and they for spearheading 34 wins before the All-Star break. 11 and 13 after the break for your playoffs. Second option, more like second point guard. Lol, my man, I watched you for 2 months at the end of your Wizards tenure, being the second option, averaging 8, 4, and 4. Sounds good, but glad you're hooping now. 5, and yep, I got a bag coming. Stop hating, lol. And last but not least, the only way you'll ever be worth your contract is if the NBA finally gives you your wish of getting paid in crypto. Checks the markets, it's going down. Enjoy the clicks, go Sixers.
Crypto is actually on its way up. Bitcoin's at 30, ETH's at 2. But
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
it is on the way up. It's not on the way down.
So
Been going on for
I would
several
like everyone to know Jackson has invested his entire life savings in crypto. And he's a firm believer in crypto. Go buy Ethereum.
That's not true. But I think Kuzma is insecure. I think Din Shitty's insecure too. It doesn't really matter.
I get so much respect for Kuz. Get him. Get him.
I mean, Dinwiddie is out of line here. I mean, Dinwiddie Kuz isn't, like a top 10 player in the NBA, but he's 27. Dinwiddie's 30. He's already had a better career. He's got a ring. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. No one gives a shit about the Nets or the Wizards at this point in the season. So
Fuck you. I give up.
I don't really know.
The Wizards.
I don't really know.
Kyle
what's going
Kuzma's
on
coming
here.
back.
Do you want to hear?
Coming back. We're
I have
winning an NBA championship in 5 years.
I have a fun question for you. In Kyle Kuzma's, Googling. In Kyle Kuzma's first year, when LeBron James joined the Los Angeles Lakers, how many points did Kyle Kuzma average?
13.
18.7.
Was it the second year that he averaged 13?
I think it was. Yeah, he went like 16.4, 18. He might have had one more year.
I know he dropped 1 year where everyone was like, holy crap.
Yeah, I think it was the second year because he went to 13 and then in their
bounce back up.
No, he had another 13 year and that's when.
Oh, yeah. It was 16.
That's when they were all set.
13, and then he bounced back with the Wizards.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. Because the two years that they were like the year they won the championship, he became like the third, fourth option. The fourth option, really.
Yeah, he started the playoffs really hot and then kind of
Fell.
fizzled into. He was on a bench role, and I'm glad the Wizards gave him a starting role because that's what he was at first.
So let's wrap up this episode real quickly. So, Pacers. Dude, did you see the latest ESPN mock draft?
No.
Oh my god,
Can't say I have.
let me pull it up real quick because our mock draft is identical and they released it after us. Like I literally put down the same mock that the ESPN.
L draft, or L mock.
Yeah, and
mock.
ESPN went out and put on the same mock as I did.
Wait, can we do a side by side? Is that possible, or is that?
I think
that's probably too difficult.
Let me just. I need to find the tweet because it was like buried yesterday. Right here. Ready?
Yeah.
The only difference was they had Brandon Miller being taken second overall.
Who the fuck would take Brandon Miller?
I know. But I think it depends on who gets the second overall pick. Like if you have a point guard.
We don't have a point guard. Why are we taking Brandon Miller?
I know. But either way, ignore the Brandon Miller, Scoot Henderson pick. Guess who we had going to the Hornets? Thompson. Who did we have going to the Blazers? Walker. I think 6. I think we either had Asar Thompson or Anthony Black. I think we had these maybe.
I don't think we did Black that fast.
I think we did have Thompson then going to here, right?
We could pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up real quick. Then we did have Cam Whitmore because I said Cam Whitmore fits perfectly for what the Pacers were building because it was like Benedict Mather and Chris Duarte, Andrew Nemhard, Tyrese Halliburton. Cam Whitmore fits perfectly. I said that. Then look, Taylor Hendricks. We literally said Taylor Hendricks to the Mavs, and I'm trying to think. Did we have Grady Dick going to the Jazz? I think we might have.
I'm not sure. Let's see here.
I looked
it up.
How?
No,
I think we got like 6 out of 10 of these right.
All right, this is a little. Oh wait, I can just go to the end. Oh shit, hold on.
Yeah, just go to the end. What do we have?
Fuck, dude, it's going too fast. Oh my god, I'm so close. Fuck. All right. 1 Vic, 2 Scoot, 3 Miller, 4 Thompson, 5 Walker, 6 Whitmore, 7 Wallace, 8 Thompson, 9 Black, 10 Hendricks, 11 Dick.
So we were what?
That's
6 or we were like 5 or 6 out of 10. We were like half right.
They were half right with ours.
Yeah. Because we're the right guys.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, I really think Cam Whitmore is the perfect fit for the Pacers. And what do you expect the Pacers this offseason? I believe the Miles Turner contract was given to be able to be traded. And yeah.
Miles Turner's had a phenomenal year.
Yeah, but they gave him a deal. I just think they're trying to go with this two-way lineup. Get another wing in there. They're going to take the best
two. Why do I have to trade Miles Turner?
No, you don't have to, but I'm just saying.
Take a stab at Miles Turner's points last year.
This year?
Take a stab, yeah.
23 points a game, 8.8 rebounds.
Dude, no. No, he just went up from 13 to 18 a night.
Okay, so I knew he took a jump. No, he's legit. Yeah. I think Miles Turner, if you're like, I talked about this, like Miles Turner will be the reason why I think they gave this contract to Miles Turner. And I think they're fine keeping Miles Turner, but I think they're aware that a team like the Blazers, the team like the teams like the Mavs, are gonna be calling them and be like,
keeps you versatile.
Yeah, and they, I think they're going to be a lot of content, like right below contention, where they're like, we're a center away. Okay,
overpay.
They'll be like, here's this year's draft pick. Like, let's say if the Mavs have the 10th pick, they're like, here's the 10th pick, and future pick down the road. And if you take on Davis Bertans' contract, and we'll send you Tim Hardaway, and we'll send you the 10th overall pick, and maybe like a future first unprotected. That's not bad. Now the Pacers have 2 top 10 picks. And they can go out and get themselves Cam Whitmore and Jarace Walker.
Yeah.
I think right here we're about to see a modern day. I think everyone's talking about how the Jazz are like this two-way team. I think we're about to see this two-way team with the Pacers where they just get out and run.
Take the OKC approach.
Yes. Very similar where point guard, shooting guard, small forward are all 6'5" and above. Then they have like, kind of like a PJ Washington-esque power forward. And then they have like just a big old center or like a spacing center.
Yeah, this would be the perfect year to do it with Tyrese just recently turning 23.
And then you bring in like
to acquire all that young or even more young talent, I should say. I love guys like Nembhard. I think Nembhard's a dog. Even Neesmith's interesting player.
Yeah, Duarte, he's another great 3-and-D guy.
Yeah, I think the Pacers rebuild was a very fun year.
I think they're a team
special.
They're my team next year with the Orlando Magic to watch for the play-in. Pacers and Magic.
Yeah, they're just a fun team. They're just a fun team, man. Tyrese is special. He's a special player.
And you got Isaiah Jackson too. And Jalen Stick-Smith kind of fell off this year, but they have so many options and young talent on this team that I think the Pacers are heading in the right direction. They kind of already have they've got 5 guys that you can believe in, and Halliburton, Nembhard, Benedict Mathurin. If you want to keep Chris Duarte there, Miles Turner, like you got guys already there. You just got to figure out who's going to be around for the rest of the roster. All right, you got anything to say to the fine people? Thank you guys for everyone who's watching. We averaged like 12 viewers this stream and concurrent viewers, and we're very appreciative of that. If you guys want to hit that like and subscribe button, hit it. We're live 9 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. And we also are on all podcast streaming services, but we're not a podcast. We're an internet NBA show. This will be episode 184.
Oh,
yeah. Episodes 181, 2, and 3 are up in there. Those are, the past 3 days. So go check that out.
For episode 200, Cyro and I are flying to the NBA Finals and doing a live show live during the game.
That'd be sick.
We'll be doing it in Chicago. You can stay at my house.
That'd be dope.
NBA Finals, watch it, Chicago Bulls.
You start the morning drinking?
No. Yeah, I'm boozing, bro. It's Florida, man.
Yes.
Oh, and TP, run the clip back, producer. Not you, like fake producer that we have that's like very quick and mobile, and he would play right now me guessing Patrick Williams within 5 seconds of it. We'll do a quick reenactment. Patrick Williams.
Yep.
Well, it's a really good guess. Patrick Williams.
All right, boys. See ya.
See ya.
Boom. Peace out, guys.